For more on our story, we've reached a Canadian living in the Philippines. Anthony Marcioni has been working there for the past 2 years and joins us now by phone. So, Anthony, how has the storm affected where you live?
Hi, Nancy. I'm right in the center of Manila in Makati, and we were lightly touched. A little bit of rain, some strong winds, but it passed over in less than 2 hours, so we were relatively safe.
So you're okay. So what are your biggest worries? You must have friends elsewhere, so what concerns you most right now?
Yes, certainly. Nancy, my girlfriend's family is actually from Leyte, which is a small village, about 45-minute drive from Tacloban, which was strongest hit. And it's a pretty rural area with not a lot of infrastructure. So friends and loved ones from around the world have been calling in from England, Australia, Canada, checking in on any news.
And how about you? Have you been able to reach people in that community to get a closer read as to what they're dealing with right now?
No, not at all. All power lines and cell phone towers are down. All of our information is coming from the local news on television.
So tell me a bit more about this area and why it would be so vulnerable when a storm of this force roars through the area.
This isn't the first time a major storm has hit. Back in '91, Tropical Storm Helene, I believe the name is, hit the area and 4,000 people perished. It's a very provincial area, lots of small villages scattered throughout. We keep hearing about Tacloban, but what you're not hearing is the smaller little villages that don't have the big buildings and that Tacloban has. A lot of houses are made out of simple wood and hand-built and with tin roofs, and that's the scary thought, is tap into those areas.
So just overall, Anthony, how much of a warning did everyone get about this typhoon? And if people in this particular area, Leyte, given that the homes are so fragile, would they be able to evacuate? Was there any plan that seemed to be in place to brace for the storm?
Yeah, the government gave lots of notice. But, you know, with a storm of this magnitude, what can you really do other than give lots of notice and tell, the people of Leyte to brace for it. I know a lot actually did manage to get out and go elsewhere, but a lot of people, from what I understand, have found shelter at their local churches and community areas.
You know, we're also hearing that there are a lot of countries now quickly rallying around to donate aid and supplies, and the supplies are arriving, but, you know, access is still such a huge issue that a lot of these supplies have to stay put because they're a long ways away from reaching the people who need it most. What are you hearing about that?
Yeah, the airport is not accessible at this point. The military is actually assisting in bringing in supplies. The president has given a mandate. The President Aquino has given a mandate for the military to offer as much fully support as possible. So the government is definitely, the Red Cross has been fantastic. You know, if people could donate to the Red Cross, that's a wonderful organization. It's been very supportive.
You know, it's still so early going, and I'm sure assessments on damage and, of course, the death toll still being calculated and will over the next few days. But just the whole recovery effort must be so daunting. I mean, how long do you think it will take for the Philippines to recover from this one?
The Philippines as a whole, the area of Leyte will take months, if not years, to recover. The depth of tragedy has touched everybody, and you see these pictures and the videos on TV, and you can't put words to it.
You know, Anthony, I'm sure these are long, anxious days for you. Really appreciate you joining us and sharing some of your very vivid observations with us. Thanks so much for joining us.
My pleasure, Nancy. Have a good evening.
You too.